Hello guys, what is up? Yes, me Rahul here, bringing you guys another, and this is possibly the final one, although I could go into the Bowl Alliance and Bowl Coalition controversies, and possibly the other BCS controversies, including the Bowl Alliance and Bowl Coalition. Okay, so you are witnessing yourselves Miami, Miami of Florida, not Miami of Ohio, okay? Then you have Nebraska. That represented the 2002 BCS National Championship, or as you would put it in actual terms, the 2002 Rose Bowl. Now, obviously, Miami won this in convincingly fashion, 37-14. Now, you might think Nebraska could have made it. They could have made it. But I don't think they deserve to make it. And if you saw my previous videos on controversies revolving around like at-large bids, you're gonna understand what I mean by this. So, Nebraska, okay, the Cornhuskers from 2001, they were riding. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 game win streak. Wait, TCU, Troy State, Notre Dame, Rice, Missouri, Iowa State, Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Kansas State. 11 game win streak. And going into their game against Colorado, they were, and I'm going to say this, if they won, they would evidently, not evidently, convincingly make it to the 2001 Big 12 Conference Championship against Texas. However, they lost to ranked 14 Colorado, and they didn't participate due to a divisional tiebreaker. And Colorado represented in the 2001 Big 12 Conference Championship, and Colorado won 39-37. Now, here is the thing, okay? And I will show you both articles for the rankings and for the Rose Bowl. Nebraska should have not made it because, number one, they did not represent in the conference championship, and two, they were not a conference championship winner of the Big 12. Those are my two points. You cannot be at large bid, because you were a division, you didn't represent yourselves in the conference championship, and you didn't win the conference championship, so you don't get to be in it. Now, here is the thing. You see Oregon. Now, Oregon, back in the Pac-10, when it didn't have divisions, and it was called the Pac-10, they were riding a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak, and they lost to unranked Stanford 42-49, and they won the rest out of the games, including against Oregon State. In some of the games, they could have lost. Now, here is the thing about this. Oregon, in my opinion, since they won the Pac-10 National Conference Championship by virtue, because there was a certain rule at the time that the NCAA, before the round robin schedule to determine a conference championship, for the Big 12, you couldn't have a conference championship below a certain amount of teams, and that actually sucks. So, Oregon, in my opinion, could have been in the discussion for the national championship matchup, like Miami versus Oregon. That actually would make sense in a way because, like, I get it, like, Oregon was, when the BCS polls were set, locked in, Oregon was ranked 4th in the BCS polls, and I understand, like, it doesn't make any sense. However, in my opinion, Oregon should have made it. Now, there is another team that you guys wouldn't even expect. Okay, so we have Colorado Buffaloes. Yes, that's an actual name. So, they lost to Fresno State. At this time, they were unranked. Then they won against Colorado State, San Jose State, Kansas State, Texas A&M. Then they lost to Texas in a very bad fashion. 41-7. 7-41. I'm saying it like that. And then they won against Oklahoma State, Missouri, Iowa State. They won against number 1 ranked Nebraska, number 3 ranked Texas. So they got their revenge earlier this season, 39-37, since they represented the Northern Division of the Big 12 via division tiebreaker of Nebraska, and they didn't get a chance. Now, I will state this right now. If you are a 1-loss team or a 2-loss team, I will give you some credit for making the national championship. However, if you're a 3-loss team, I'm sorry, you're not making it. So, here is what I'm going to state. And I will leave the links down in the description below for the polls and the Rose Bowl, so that way you get some clear understanding. Nebraska, because they, I guess, like, had more wins and the strength of schedule, they made it, and Oregon and Colorado didn't. So, in a very stupid fashion, Nebraska made it. They lost very convincingly, and that score was 37-14. Miami won over Nebraska, and Miami finished undefeated. Now, if Oregon or Colorado made it, okay, how about this? Oregon. It would have been the first appearance for the Pac-10/12 later in the years. They did the realignment and everything. For Colorado, it would have been their first national championship appearance. Not like a bowl alliance, not bowl coalition kind of thing. It would have been their first appearance in a national championship. In my eyes, Oregon or Colorado deserved it, not Miami. I don't care. I do care about strength of schedule and everything like that. Like, how strong are your opponents against, like, the team schedule, right? How strong are your opponents when you face them? I get all that, okay? However, don't put, like, a team that didn't appear in the national championship and in the conference championship and didn't win the conference championship. Those two factors, completely, you can't do that. Now, if the playoffs were expanded for the college football playoff, okay, I'll give you some slack, but again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Do not, and I mean this, do not put the, if you put the conference runner-up to the conference championship winner, put the conference title on the line and move on. That's all I'll say. So, Miami, I'm gonna, sorry for getting off topic. I'll get back to this topic. Miami was part of the Big East, and they were in some they were part of future ACC members, like Pittsburgh, Boston College. Nebraska is not part of the Big Ten. Colorado is part of the Pac-12, and Oregon somewhat is part of the is transitioned into the Pac-12. So this BCS National Championship controversy all relied on, I think in my opinion, wins and also the polls. Yes, I understand Nebraska lost. Again, I've stated this before, they should not have been in it. On the other hand, Oregon, they lost. And Colorado lost twice to Fresno State and then Texas. Also, although they rebounded against Texas in the Big 12, the 2001 Big 12 Conference Championship. The one thing I will state for that, though, is this. You cannot just think of a matchup between Miami versus Oregon or Miami versus Colorado. Because if it was Miami versus Oregon, oh my god. The U versus the O. That would be insane. Oregon Ducks versus Miami Hurricanes versus the Oregon Ducks. Like, Miami Hurricanes had like an elite squad back in their day, and I believe that for sure. Like Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, rest in peace, Vince Wilfork, Kellen Winslow, Andre Johnson. Like, you had some very interesting dudes leading your team for Miami. And I will state that. 100. Antro roll. Like, the list goes on and on. You can even say that for other teams as well. For Nebraska, Oregon, and Colorado. Either way, if Oregon actually made it to the national championship, or Colorado, if Nebraska was like shut out of it, you know what? Miami would have still won. Because their talent was so god tier that they could have defeated Oregon or Colorado. And might I add, Colorado, like, they only won one national championship, but it was because of back in 1990, and they were number 1 ranked in the coaches poll and the AP poll. So this would have been a real chance at a true national championship, including Oregon and Miami. At least they got the U still. But either way, we would never know. Miami versus Nebraska. I will go into some college football playoff controversies in the next episode. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Y'all are legends in my book as well as for me. I We'll see y'all in the next one, and peace.